Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's episode of Who's Who. As you can see, I'm just casually flexing my elytra that we got last episode. We can look at this city from above. It looks really cool. We can see all the different builds. We've got a handful in the distance. So today, because we have wings, we're looking to scale up a few of these builds. Or not really scale up these builds because we're going to leave them, but we're going to build a few buildings back over here, which I have this area that I've been cleared out for a while, and we're going to get going on some builds because I have spent a lot of time on my build world and we're ready for some builds. So let's go take a look at some of the other things I have prepared for builds. We'll come back to this one to go up in the sky to utilize my wings, but we're going to go over here a little bit into the graveyard and finally build a house for Jeremy, or at least a temporary house for him. For my first build back, I think it's going to be a good idea to finish an unfinished building. So I have created a design for my cemetery building. It's one I like, so hopefully it looks pretty good. It's going to go right here. It's kind of bigger. Oh, and this one, I needed some wood for the top of this building. So I was planting trees to harvest some wood, and this one just grew humongous. And I think it's going to work to kind of show the height of my building here. But for now, I think this could also be a temporary home for good old Jeremy. Look, he's got a chicken friend. But Jeremy's been good. He went through his therapy. He no longer is aggressive and hostile towards people. So I feel like we can give him a temporary house and let him hang out in the cemetery for the first little bit until we maybe build him a giant evil lair or something like that. But for now, I'm going to get cracking on this building, and then we'll go back over to the inn and show you my other builds that I have planned. But let's get cracking on that first time lapse. perfect. The sun is... Oh, let's turn on my shaders. Ooh, I haven't been playing with my shaders. Oh, well. The sun is setting, and it's just the perfect time. Let's clean up everything. Ooh, I had a lot of extras. I didn't think I'd have this many extras. But we got an extra dude that showed up during the build, but this is the final build. We'll come back here so he doesn't shoot at me. It's a lot of gray and black, but I feel that fits with the cemetery look. So we won't step on any graves, but we'll come inside. It has very moody lighting. However, nothing can spawn in here. We've got a wonderful, beautiful spiral staircase, wonderful chandelier. This is supposed to be the outside, so that way when people come in, this is the receptionist desk, and the window kind of looks like, oh, it's outside. You got the grass and the sky and the clouds. Then you've got a little area where they can give speeches or sermons or talk about the beloved who've passed. And then we have this little balcony place, nice little table where they can overlook. I'm going to have some armor here, some fancy decorative clothing for people who have passed on. Lots of anvils. My iron farm works too well, so I have a lot of anvils. This cuts back into the spiral staircase, so we'll kind of cheat our way in there. And then I wanted to do a spore blossom for some ambience, but it like creates everywhere. So I have some ambience, just some little drippy drips. Come up here. And I'm going to have nether in the end, like almost like a crazy doctor idea. However, I don't have the end thing for it, so I'll zoom out of my face real quick. This is growing, and eventually it'll sprout into multiple of these. But for right now, I'm waiting for it. But I figured up the spiral staircase, this is going to be the quarters for the cemetery person. So we have his little kitchen area where he can cook and make food and go to sleep. He has some little decoration. This is one of those Victorian era study desks. So it's supposed to be like a slanted place where you can sit down, and it has a drawer that opens up. And then obviously the balcony to make sure there aren't any hoodlums. I'm looking at you, who have snuck into the cemetery, terrorizing these people that he's watching. And then upstairs, he really has his area. It's got a little loft or reading nook. I got some ideas for here and for here, but those I'm going to need to go gather some supplies and some farms because I'm going to do some frog lights. That was what we got last episode. And then I'm going to put in some coral here. I've actually waterlogged these steps right here, so that way water can be in here and they can stay alive. I can put coral fans there. And then up top, I feel like he was secretly an artist. So secretly he comes up here when he needs to. I still need to get my item frame, but he dips his paint and he paints. He can look out in the view and he can do a little painting job. So that way it's not all spooky. But that's kind of a rundown of the build. So far, so good. I'm digging it. And then obviously, from a gameplay perspective, I can fly away from it pretty easy. And I had that in mind that if I wanted to go visit the cemetery, I can fly on up. I can stand on the points, which is kind of hard to get. Or I can fly into this upper balcony or different things like that. So that's my cemetery build. Finally finished. It's now way too late for Halloween. I'm almost close to the next Halloween when I started this project. But we got one checked off the list. I might go do some farms now or some building, but we'll fly on into the next thing.
I went on an adventure. I was doing this project right here, and I'm just now realizing all of the clips did not have any audio. So let's do a quick recap. I have the whole thing time-lapsed, and we'll show you what happened. So I started this new project. It's going to be a gazebo that I was going to build here. It's going to have a creeper farm underneath. So this is a layout for a simple creeper farm with a beacon in it. But I started building the project, tearing down to build the creeper farm, and I found this huge pool of water sitting underneath it. And obviously, Gotta build a farm, although not really. I was just gonna go hunt down some sponges. So here's a quick time lapse of me going to find a temple to get me some sponges to help with this project. So I was excited about my new build, so I had to sleep in it. But then I came over and realized that make little rockets for my journey, and then looked up how to find an ocean monument, and remembered that you could get them from villagers. But you need a map or a compass to be able to trade with them, so I crafted a quick compass, got that Ocean Monument Explorer's map, and then took to the skies. It's really cool to see this quick time lapse flying through the air. Made it to the Ocean Monument. As you can see by the particle effects though, got hit with that mining fatigue pretty quickly. Thankfully there's a village nearby so I could go find some cows to give me some milk. Sorry, this part of the video is not the best to watch sped up. It's a lot of looking to the ocean and looking back at the cow. But once we did get him to the ocean, dug him a little hole after drinking some milk to get rid of that mining fatigue, and then I took on the monument. Branched in, killed a few guardians, killed a few elder guardians, got lots of milk, realized it was kind of hard to breathe underwater, so got some doors, killed some more guardians, looked through some rooms and didn't find any sponge rooms. But thankfully the elder guardians did drop a handful, so I was able to get some from them, grabbed some more milk, freed my cow, and took to the skies to fly back home. Now that you're caught up, let's do some more time lapses. This time we're gonna try something new. We're gonna do 2 time lapses at once. So we've got the farm time lapse and a few building time lapses, including this floating island right above my head there, and then what's gonna go behind me. So let's cut into some split screen time lapses.
Well, we got a lot done. As you can see, there's a little bit left to finish with, but we got a lot. So let's kind of run you through a tour of what I did during that time lapse. I've got my junk chests I need to unload and some shulkers I have to empty still. But let's take a look at it. For starters, we got this cute little nook area. I'm gonna have a waterfall right here eventually. I need to find a book to put in here. This was my ideas for my different episodes. So not that one, but we'll look at other books. We'll show you what that hole is in a second, but we've got some chairs, and then it's just this neat little garden area. Goes all the way around. I know the time lapse was kind of stationary on this one, but that's what it looks like from above. Let's go check what that hole is. I'll probably put like a moss carpet or something over it. But this is my creeper farm and my sugarcane farm. I'll show you what it looks like here. I'll fly out of my head, but let me go sleep first. Also, I am a little congested today, so if I sound a little nasally, that's why. I apologize. But I also have these floating islands that we'll also get to in a second, but this one has a specific purpose. It's supposed to be like a dude reading a book, but if I come in here and stand right here, I'm only allowing most of these parts to spawn and some little other areas, but that's because I have a creeper farm. So this is him. Gentleman who's reading his book, studying. Let's go take a look at this, and then we'll go check out the islands. Coming on down all 128 blocks, we've got our nice little gazebo. And then underneath, now that we're far enough away, we've got creepers that are spawning. This uses the game mechanic because there are trapdoors on the ceiling here that nothing 2 blocks high can spawn, but something that's a little shorter like creepers can spawn, and then they should start falling down here, fall into the soulfire campfires, and then they get put in the chests, just like that. And then obviously the sugarcane can run too. I have a hopper minecart zooming around, picking up the sugarcane, and then depositing it into the system as well. So I've made a complete automated rocket farm. So now I've got plenty of rockets. I can fly around the world and not worry about it ever. And if I do, I'll just come AFK this for a few more minutes. I'll go show you about how much we have rate-wise. Fall on down here again. Right now, we've got a little bit of sugarcane and a little bit of gunpowder. This was from AFKing while building everything, so it wasn't super duper long, but I've already got plenty of rockets. So it's a functional build and a pretty build, and then I figured the beacon is a beam of power and light and kind of a magical, because you have to kill the wither in order to get it. I figured some magic floating islands would work. So this is the first one. Again, this one's kind of my island. On these ones, I'm planning on kidnapping a villager. Maybe one of the annoying ones that's always inside over here, tugging on these barrels. I'll sneak up here. We've got a cute little cabin cottage looking thing. We've got some wheat. I'm going to make him a farmer, and hopefully he doesn't fall off the edge. There's water close by. Hopefully he doesn't die. We'll see. And then this one's not quite finished because I want to do a table or maybe a bed or something in this area. But we've got a cute little kitchenette with a smoker and a functional, may I add, functional chimney. I need to relight these, but a functional chimney. So this is the first little cabin, and we'll go check out the second one. Eventually the water's going to be capped off right here so it doesn't go all the way down, but I didn't quite get to that. Here is the second one. If you're watching in the time lapse, I spent way too long getting this water to flow just right because I didn't want it to flow in all the directions, just the two. I think it looks cooler because the prismarine changes color. So if we sit here and watch it, it fades from that blue to the green. It kind of goes back and forth. So I figured it was a magical block and the water was coming out of it, and then it flows off the island. And we got some lily pads, a little campfire to hang out if I had friends on my single player world, which maybe we'll put a villager up here too. Then we got a cute little table, a plant, a reading nook with some books, and then just the back patio. I'm going to put some more tables and chairs, probably change this all to wood, but this is the second little cabin build. I like the little custom tree, the little water well. I peaked the roofs a little bit, kind of for that Zen Oriental vibes. And I really like it. So we got these builds, and that was a long time of time lapses. So hopefully the song was good. But that is probably going to be it for today's episode. I got some things in the sky. I realized on this one, I've got only a handful of farms. So I need to do a lot of farms. So what you can expect from me, because I know it's been a while since the last time I uploaded a video, I want to do some more. And I feel like I say that every time, but this time I mean it. I want to do some more because a lot of time has passed between my last two videos. So I'll be planning on getting some content out hopefully sooner. This one took like 8 months to make, and I want to try to do it monthly, but we'll see if I can get to that. But we want to build some farms in the next episode. I've got some other builds that I want to do as well. And also to do a few more things like create this path and just make my single player world even better because I love Minecraft. It's lots of fun. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I like making content. I'm not planning on stopping. So I'll see you in the next episode of Who's Who.
Well, I was recording a whole section. Oh, I'm in the wrong skin. 1 second.